So yesterday, Ted, question? Do you need a pencil? Anybody need a pencil? Mhm. Anybody else need a pencil? Gabe, this is 4 times. Put that away, please. Hannah, put that away, please. Headsets off. Anybody else need a pencil? Nick, you got a pencil? You need a pencil? This is not working. George, do you need a pencil? Where's your pencil? Careful. We'll get it out, please. We still have 6 weeks of school. You need a pencil? Okay, I think I have another one on my cart. We're recording all this. Isn't this fun? There you go. It's even sharpened. All right. Okay, yesterday, what did we do with these equations yesterday? You forgot yesterday already? How did we solve that system? By the way, these are 2 lines. They intersect in a point. At least I think they do. Okay, Merdies? How did we solve that yesterday? Jacob? Remember how we did that yesterday? Yeah, we solved for x and y. Rusman, question. George, question. Focus up here. Anybody? Nobody remembers what we did yesterday? Hannah, put your phone away, please. Yeah, how did we do that? What did we do with these 2 equations? We added them. You're right, they're going to cancel out. What's true when we add these, because this is the whole thing today, what was true about these? Why did they cancel out? Positive and negative what? 1. We added these, a negative 1 and a positive 1 adds up to 0. What's true about these numbers? They have to be the same but opposite in sign. Then they'll add to 0. Like what, Josh? What would I add to positive 2x to make that go away? Negative 2x. Okay. So that's what we're going to do today, because if you turn the page or you look at your page, you should have that, I believe. Oh, what was our goal here today? Are these games or something? No, it doesn't say. Oh, the theme for today is name that movie. Ah. Sandlot. I never saw that, so I don't.
So sad.
Okay. Rusman, question? Okay, you guys? You guys? There are 2 ways to do this. Now, if you add this, Ted, what happens when I add these right now? 7x. And if I add these, I get plus, no, 5 minus 2 is 3y equals 10. Did I get rid of x or y?
No.
No. Okay, so my goal is to eliminate x or y. Either the x's have to be the same number in front, or the y's have to be the same number in front. And it doesn't matter which one you want to fix. Now, I like to do the ones that are opposite in sign, because then I've already solved half the problem. Because even if these were the same, if that's positive 3 and that were positive 3, then when I add them, it's still not going to go away. These numbers in front have to be the same number, but opposite signs. Now, I could try to make them become 1s, but then that means I have to deal with fractions. And I know how much you love fractions, right, Marie? You hate fractions. So let's go the other direction. What do positive 5 and negative 2 go into? What number do they divide into evenly? No, not what goes into them. And 2 doesn't go into 5, unfortunately. 10. So I'm going to take the top equation and multiply by the number that'll make that 10. What number would that be? 2. Now, the hard part about this is there's lots of places to make mistakes. The biggest place to make mistake is to forget to multiply the right side by 2. Yesterday, we multiplied by negatives just to change the sign, so they were opposite. Now, Michael, what do I have to multiply this one by to make that negative 2 become 10? 2 times what is 10? 5. So we'll multiply this one by 5. Now, if I choose the x's, the numbers are smaller, which is nice. So you're going to want a calculator to do this. You have to rewrite these. Some of you are going to be resistant to that, but that's the only way to do it. Okay, so when I double this equation, Marie, what am I going to get on the first one? Yeah. Good. Equals 16. Okay, Josh, what am I going to get on the next one? Just multiply it out. Don't forget distributive property. Some of you have been forgetting that. What is that? 5 times 4 is 20x. Oh, I couldn't hear. And I chose this so that this would be what? Negative 10y. Because what's going to happen, Ted? What if I add these? What am I going to get? That's right. And 5 times 2 over here is 10. You will get nice numbers. Okay? So if you don't get nice numbers, you've made a mistake. Yes. I may have to multiply both equations by numbers such that these numbers are the same. The ones in front of y are the same but opposite in sign. I could have done the x's. Some of you will like this method so much better than trying to solve for the variable that you're missing. By the way, many of you only solved for one variable yesterday. Okay, Merdice? What do I get? Whoops, forgot my x. Equals 26. And then what do we do? Merdice? Rusman? What are you doing? Put the phone away, please. Yeah, put it away. What do we do next? Ted, what do we do next? Yeah, how? We divide by 26. So what's x equal to? 1. Are we done? No. Some of you thought yesterday you were done when you found x or you found y. Which one would you like to put it into, Jake? First equation. So I'm going to first copy it by doing. It's how you learn football, too. Yeah. Because if I just added them the way it works, the way it was written originally, neither the y's nor the x's go away. I've got to get them to go away. Only way for that to happen is the numbers in front of these letters have to be the same number, but opposite in sign. So everybody should have this written down. Michael, do you have it written down? Yeah, you do. Now, how are you going to find x? You're on the wrong page. Why don't you turn the page so you're with me? And you have some work to do on those other ones. We're not in any big rush. This is how you solve systems. George, what do you have written down? Did you find y? How do you find y? We just did it yesterday. In place of x, what are you going to do? You're going to put in 1. And if I go too fast, you're just going to tell me I'm going too fast. That's okay. This is 3 times 1 plus 5 times y equals 8. Could I guess and check and find y? Sure I could. I'd rather solve, though. Okay, so what happens? How do you solve for y? Gabe, this needs to be done. Not divide. We have to get rid of what first? Always. Adding. Get rid of adding first. So what am I going to do? I'm going to subtract what? No. I want this guy alone, isolated. So I'm going to get rid of the 3. Yeah. Take away the 3 here. Take away the 3 here. And then what do I get? Gabe, pencil should be working here. You should be doing this with me. Because you're not going to learn it if you don't do that. And if you don't learn it, guess what? You don't get credit for the class. And guess what then? You come back again next year. 5 what? 5y equals 5. Oh, can you just tell me what the answer is? Yeah. What is it? Jake, you need to be doing this. Y equals 1. And these are the easiest points you can get, although I do check to make sure that you did the problems. If you don't do them right, Rusban, George, what do you need? If you don't do them right, then I send it back to you and I said, you got to go back and do them again because it's not any good. So there's your answer, 1, 1. Okay? Gabe, you need that written down, please. You need to do this, because if you don't do it, you're not going to know what to do. I know, but you aren't going to get any points for it. These are the easiest points you can get. What are you guys doing? Put your money away. We're not doing money, we're doing math lesson. Mm-mm. Okay, so we try the next one. This is harder than yesterday. No, it's Ice Age. Okay, Merdice, what do I have to do now? And Merdice, turn around. Face the front, please. Okay, what are we going to do? Gabe, what do I have to do there now? No? Can I add them? Merdice, what happens if I add them? This is why you have to do the problems with me. George, what happens if I add them? I know. What do you mean it doesn't work? What's this give me? George, what's that give me? You don't know what a -4 and a +2 is? I think you do. Merdice, can you help me out? What's a -4 and a +2? -2x. George, you know that? George, what's the next one? What's 6 and 4? You don't know what 6 plus 4 is? There we go. That's better. And what's 10 plus 16? 26. Oops, forgot the y. Did I get rid of x's or y's? That's the problem. So, Gabe, what am I going to do? Which one do you want to get rid of? I always get rid of, if I have opposite signs, I like to do that. To get rid of the y, I can, but what number does 6 and 4 go into? 12. So you get bigger numbers. 6 doesn't go into, neither one goes into 10. But why not do the x's? What would I have to multiply this one by to make these go away? That's a -4. That's easier. Okay, but it's not necessary. You could do the y's. So what am I going to multiply this one by, Gabe? 2. What am I going to get? Now, you guys don't like this part. You need to rewrite this. Okay, so this is 4x, 8y equals 32. Yeah, we have to distribute. You have to distribute a 2. What are you going to distribute? We didn't talk about anything in the beginning. This is -4x, plus we added them in the beginning and it didn't work. You got to tell me what to distribute. I didn't ask that question, Gabe. I asked, what are you going to put there? Now, what do you get, Gabe? When I add these, what do I get? 14 what? Equals. Add those. George, what do you get? 42. Now that's one I don't know very much if I divide by 14, but I kind of know it now after all these years. Anybody know what y is? Oh, sorry. No. Take a calculator and do it. 2 times 14 is 28. Rusbin, question? This is 3. Is it 4? What's 4 times 14? Let's do a little number sense. What's 4 times 4? 16. But you know that's going to be a 6. That's not a 6. Okay? So how about 14 times 3? What's 3 times 4? 12. Thank you, Alex. At least that seems better. And carry the 1, and I get 42. So it's 3. Yes. And use a calculator. The numbers are going to get big because we're multiplying. There's another way to do this with the multiplication method. You can divide, and you get fractions. It's called Gaussian elimination. I would do it on a calculator with a matrix. Okay. Now, Gabe, what do I have to do to find x? -4 what? I need to find x. I know y is 3. I have to substitute this into either one of the equations. But go back to the original. Don't do the one you multiplied, because then the numbers get big. It doesn't really matter. How about if we put it right in here? So you get -4x plus 6y, 6 times 3. And that's okay if you just do the arithmetic in your head. That's great. That's awesome, actually. So what do I get, Jake? Negative 4x plus what? 18 equals 10. And then what do I have to do? No, I don't divide yet. Minus 18. And so I get minus 4x equals minus 8. No, what's 10 minus 18? Negative 8. So what's x? That's right. If you want to show divided by negative 4, you can. But why not just say, hey, I know that's 2. Okay, you need to be doing this with me. Does Roosman have his written down? Roosman, you need to be writing it down. This is an assignment just like a regular worksheet. Same thing. The difference is, on the regular worksheet, I correct them and give them back to make corrections. Which I have a lot, by the way, to give back, because they're all done. So if you want to copy it down, and those of you who are already done, you can try the next one. Some of these are hard. Some of them aren't so easy. When in doubt, multiply the numbers together. That always works. Okay, so Gabe's going to try the next one. What are you going to get rid of, x or y? Okay, so you need to do it. You ready to move on? Oh, I'm still, okay, it's okay. Yeah. Yes. What you multiply one side by a number, you must multiply the other side. You want to keep them equal. Here's the question. If I have x equals 2 and I double the left side, is that still a true statement? That's 2x equals 2. What makes this one true? Jake, what makes this one true? If I just double one side. What number can I put in there that makes that 2? 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times what is 2? 1. You have to think a little bit, but you know what? Here's what you have to think in life. Okay? Boston Marathon, people had to think quickly. The only way math is about practicing your thinking. Now, here's the original equation. Is 1 equal to 2? Is 1 equal to 2? No. Yes. So if you double one side, you must double the other to keep it true. 2x is equal to 4. That still is 2. That makes this one true. This is easy to see what makes that true. This isn't as easy. That's all. Okay. What movie is that one? This guy sees all the movies. I think I've seen that one, though. Hmm? Okay, now, okay, you can eliminate x or y. I know which one I would do. It doesn't make any difference. Which one would you like to eliminate, George? No, I've got to eliminate x or y. Why? Well, there's a solution. Those are two lines that intersect. You can't just add them. Yeah. So you're going to have to fix which ones do you want to get rid of, x's or y's. That's your first decision. You can't just get rid of 2x. You have to get these numbers to be the same. What numbers would that be, 5 and 2? What do they go into? 10. What about these? 6. I like the smaller numbers. Plus, one's positive, one's negative. They have to be opposite signs. So what do you want to multiply the top equation by? 2. I like that answer. Now, do you have to multiply this one by 2? Yes. So what are you going to get on the top one, Nick? What am I going to get here when I multiply that out? 10 what? X plus 2 times 3 is 6y. Does anybody know what 2 times 28 is? You? Good job. Okay, now Rusbin, we now have this equation. I now have to look at that one, and I got to make either x's or y's go away. Which one do you want to get rid of? I'd rather do the y's. And why do I rather do that? Because that's already negative. If I want to do x's, then I have to multiply this by negative 5, which is fine. But why don't we just multiply this equation by what will make this 6 go away? What number needs to be here? Negative 6, right? So what are you going to multiply this one by then? 3. Hey, Gabe, you're supposed to be doing this with me. Yes. Not until we're done here. Okay, so what does this give me, Jake? 3 times 2 is what? 6x. Notice how I'm keeping this neat and organized, Rusman. And then what's this going to give me? Careful, 3 times the negative 2 is a minus 6. Do you see why I chose what I chose? What happens when you add those y's, Gabe? What happens when you add these? What's 6 and negative 6? 0. Then don't forget to do this one, which is 24. Oh, the numbers get really big, don't they? And if I had gone to the tens, they would have been bigger. Rusman, what do they add up to? 16x. That goes away. Check it goes away. What is that? 80. Rusman, what's the answer to this? Rusman, what do I do now to solve this? Yes, you do know. He didn't say anything. Rusman, how do I solve for x here? Divide by 16. So x equals 5. No, are we done? Merdice, are we done? Okay, guys, focus. You have x equal to 5. You must find y. So some of you on your green worksheet didn't find y. So you need to go back and do that. Merdice, how do I do that? Which one? Okay, so I'm going to recopy the first one. And there's room on this worksheet. I don't know how much room there is on the other one. Well, you might have to take some pieces of paper. Those of you write big, I have plenty of paper that you can write it on. And which one am I going to replace, the x or the y? X. So it's 5 times the x, which is 5, plus 3 times y, which is 28. What's 5 times 5? 25, plus 3y equals 28. This is solving linear equations. You guys are supposed to be good at this. What do we do next? Minus 25. You can't forget what you've learned in math, because we use it all the way through. Everything builds. You know that 1 plus 1 is 2. At least I hope so. Why? Because 3y equals 3, and divide by 3, or you can just look at it and say y equals 1. So you must find both x and y. So we're going to have you finish this packet first, and I have another worksheet. So, and there's a lot of problems here. Actually, we're going to have you finish this page and the back of this page. Just those two. So it's 1 through 8, and then I have a worksheet, but they won't be ready for it today, I don't think. Okay, so I'm going to pause and let you try this. But before we, what do you want it to go? Which one do you want to get rid of, x or y? These first. X or y? Okay, Gabe, you can go. Yeah. X or y, which one do you want to get rid of? Y. Because what number does this have to be to make this work? This is a positive 2. I need a negative what? 2. I want these to add to 0. So you're going to multiply this by what? 2. Okay, I'm going to let you guys go on this now. We have 8 problems we need to get done, and if you get that all done and you're right, then you can go back. Actually, you can go back to the green worksheet. I got lots of problems. You need lots of practice with it. So we will do that.